Cuccinelli was on New Day with Chris Cuomo on CNN, and another guest that was on this panel to discuss what happened over the weekend was Symone Sanders. And so the discussion was about white supremacy in the country. It was a discussion about the hate rally that took place in Virginia and the murder of Heather Heyer, who happened to be a counter-protester at the Virginia event. Now, Ken Cuccinelli seemed to disagree with Symone Sanders in regard to this rise of hate crimes in America. He seems to think, oh, well, these were isolated incidents. Symone Sanders obviously disagrees. Now, things got really heated, but I want to show you the first part of the exchange just to give you some context, and then we'll get to the most relevant part. Take a look.
You have white supremacist neo-Nazi sympathizers apparently in the White House, and Sebastian Gorka and Steve Bannon. This is not just rhetoric. This is very real for people all over America. And I would suggest that we have to. That is not an outrageous overstatement. If you know what? In Germany, wait, Chris. In Germany, there are no statues and monuments of Nazi soldiers. Children do not go to schools named after Nazi generals. But in the United States of America, our children walk through parks, walk down streets, and go to schools named after generals of the Confederacy, folks who, if in present day, took up arms against the government, would be considered treasonous because they felt it was their right to own people that looked like me in this country because it benefited them economically. That's what this is about. And so there is no overstatement here. These are the facts. And if we would like to, that's what the Robert E. Lee said. That's what they were marching for.
For a bunch of racists and neo-Nazis to get together. That was a local blogger who got a permit.
Okay, so first of all, let's note that he complained that she kept cutting him off. But if you note there, actually he cut her off because she wasn't done with her statement.
And that was the beginning of the exchange, okay? So it basically starts off with her making, her argument. He interrupts her a couple times. And then later on, when she interrupts him, he doesn't take so kindly to it.
Before we get to that, let me just say substantively, they created this monster, this Frankenstein, with their Southern strategy and, let's go pick up the Southern white voters who are disaffected by the civil rights movement. And now 2 different RNC chiefs have apologized for the Southern strategy because it was clearly racist. So now the Ken Cuccinellis of the world come out and go, what? Did we do a racist strategy that wound up having the Republican Party be the home of the racists? It's not exclusively racist in the Republican Party, not at all. And there are well-meaning people, and there are Christians who think that their pastor told them to be a Republican or God wants them to be a Republican. There are people who are just greedy and want tax cuts, no matter how much money they have. There's a million reasons. Some people like war, right? But where are the overwhelming majority of racists in this country? They reside in the Republican Party. And it's not an accident of fate. They went and tried to appeal to them, and they did. That's what Symone Sanders is partly pointing out here. That's why Ken Cuccinelli is so upset, not because she's talking over him, he interrupted her.
That's right. So let's take a look at the second part of this exchange.
What is your point of disagreement exactly?
Right. Well, my point of disagreement is that was an excuse to bring these groups together. The local blogger who got the permit to protest the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue then blew this up. That was an excuse. Look at how they got the permit. And can I finish, Symone? Will you just shut up for a minute and let me finish?
Pardon me, sir. You don't get to tell me to shut up on national television.
Hold on.
Under no circumstances do you get to speak to me in that matter. You should exhibit some decorum.
Ken, stay civil. Hold on, guys. Both of you stop for a second. Symone,
and under no circumstances.
Ken and Symone, hold on a second. You need a reset. You need a reset.
So look, Symone obviously gets upset there, understandably so. And part of the reason for that is, well, anybody tells you to shut up, you're gonna get upset, right? But the other part of it is because it's a well-worn tactic of the right to filibuster on TV and to speak for as long as humanly possible so the other side does not have as much airtime. In this case, Symone spoke plenty, she did, right? But frustrated by that tactic, Cuccinelli, who as part of his party, they've all done that over and over and over again. When it's turned on them, he's like, well, you can't do that to me, I do it to you. So why don't you just shut up? What do you mean white supremacy? I mean, I just liked it. One of the guys who were in the rally, they said, no, I'm just trying to protect how things were. So I'm not a white supremacist, I just want to protect our power. No, I don't. Maybe you don't understand what you're saying, but that's, and Cuccinelli is from a very right-wing part of the party who thinks, who is she to tell me what I can and can't say on TV? And so why don't you just shut up about it?
Also, what she was saying wasn't even it wasn't even opinion. She's literally sharing accurate historical happenings and how we got to where we are right now. And so, he wants to minimize what's going on, minimize away. But the reality is there is an uprising of white nationalists in this country. Things got incredibly violent over the weekend. People are now concerned for their safety. They're concerned to speak out or worried to speak out. And so you can pretend like it's not a problem at all. But I think, Republican politicians like Ken Cuccinelli know it's a problem, and they're okay with that problem. That's how it appears.
So if you're not okay with it, then you should chase those people out of your party. But you've let them vote for you all these years, and you've stood by quietly as that happened. So don't pretend that all of a sudden you're aggrieved and shocked and chagrined to find out the racists are on your side. And as you protect the Confederate statues of people who fought to keep slavery, don't pretend that you're shocked and chagrined to find out the racist on your side.
Right.
By the way, to be fair, I did once tell someone to shut up in an interview.
You did, yes.
And that was 10 years ago, and it was because he was doing the right-wing tactic of never letting the other side speak.
Right.
And so I told him that I'm not gonna let him get away with it. You know who that turned out to be? Jay Sekulow, who is now Donald Trump's lawyer. He was a fringe, absurd character, not taken seriously back in the day. Now he's the lawyer for the president of the United States. So the things that go bump in the night are real, and they're in the White House. Help us build independent media. Become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.